Hello. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Welcome, welcome. Oh, lovely. I on the laptop you can just see a mess behind me. Hold on. We'll just put that on the ground for now. Right. Okay. So, today we are going to talk about the whole damn point. I've been dying to talk about this. This is Ooh, we're gonna go deep, guys. Okay, I just need to adjust myself here. Need to adjust myself over here. Okay. All right. So we just had Fiery Passions Month in. Sorry, I still have a coat on my bed. Hold on. It's just been Fiery Passions Month in my membership, Creator Productivity Lab, and it's been really eye-opening, both for me and for the members who took part. And I've already gotten a lot of feedback of like, wow, thank you for reminding me that work is not everything. Thank you for reminding me that it's not all about business. And this is coming from someone who is teaching you in what I do. I teach you how to be more productive and get more done in less time and work smarter. But what is the whole damn point? Why are we bothering to work smarter? You know? So I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory here, right? This entire business exists because of a story that happened when I was 14. And I have told it before in a couple of places. But I'm going to go through it again because this is literally the entire reason that this business exists. It's the entire reason that it's impacting hundreds of people around the world. And it's fucking deep. Like, okay. So when I was 14, and I'm going to put a trigger warning around mental health stuff, pretty dark stuff. I was going through a very rough time with my mental health. I'm sure the hormones were going crazy. Guys, I was 14. So like literally peak hormonal stage. And that probably was a big part of the reason why this even happened. But look, I was really struggling with depression. Because I was 14 and I didn't have the emotional intelligence to know that these things should not be battled alone, I battled it alone. And oh, my heart goes out to little 14-year-old Kate who didn't feel like she could tell anybody, who felt, sorry, knocked something over, who felt like she was too much of a burden, like to share something as heavy as this. So, but look, I made it out the other side. Not gonna lie, guys, there were times where it didn't look like I was gonna make it out the other side. I didn't think I was gonna make it out the other side, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And I didn't want to make it out the other side. So that just goes to show you the kind of headspace that I was in. And I did. I did make it out the other side. And it was when the school year ended. I don't know if it had something to do with that, but not having the not needing to go to school anymore for, 3 months, 2 months, 3 months. I was able to disconnect from like social pressures of 14-year-old living and all of that. And it was sunny. And like all of these things were falling into place where I felt lighter. I felt the energy lift. And I was like, oh my God, it's over. I actually remember the one day where I felt it leave my body, which is so weird. But I was out in my back garden. It was a sunny day. It was one of the first days of the summer holiday. I had thrown a towel down out in the back garden and I was there with Sandy, and it was within the first year that we got her. Oh, and she's still with us, and this is, 14 years later. Oh, but actually, yeah, it was probably the summer after, so this is 13 and a half years later. Okay, whatever. But I realized, oh my God, I'm gonna be okay. And the fact okay, I'm gonna come out blatantly and say it. I had been suicidal. I hate the word. It's so I mean, obviously the word has so much heaviness attached, but even just saying the word out loud, it just is a lot. um, but I was. And because I had gone through that, coming out the other side, I was like, "Oh, I, I'm I'm doing this life thing." I didn't think I was still going to be there, which then made me go, "Okay, well, if I'm sticking around and I'm doing this life thing, I am going to make it extraordinary. I'm going to make it a life worth living. I'm going to make damn sure that I enjoy this life to the full because it was a simple choice that I could have made that I wanted to make that, you know, I was very close to making, where I wouldn't have had these years and years and years of life ahead of me. And I was like, wow. Like, can you even imagine that thought process? And if, if anybody has gone through anything similar, it is a whole thing when you're like, you know what, I'm done. I want to end my life. And then it's like, okay, I don't want to anymore. I'm going to stick around. Whoa. Years have now opened up in front of me. Oh my God. I get to choose what I do with my life. So that's what happened when I was 14, right? Obviously, that was a huge pivotal moment in my life. I didn't even realize in what way at the time. But because it was so pivotal, that gave me such a drive. I was like, okay, well, I'm sticking around and making this life fucking incredible. That's what we're gonna do here. Moving on to a couple of years later, which is only a couple of years ago. So like 2018, 2019, I became a personal trainer, had my personal training business. Then I was like, oh my God, I can make a lot of money through having a business, way more than having a job. And if I have this money, then I can live my life in a way that's different to the norm. I don't want to get, like, I never wanted to get a 9 to 5 office job. I was like, what do you mean I'm going to sit in an office for 8, 9 hours a day, Monday to Friday, tied to one location with very limited annual leave, and I have to spend most of my time in Ireland? Nah, not for me. So I was like, okay. So I'm gonna work my fucking ass off and make this shit happen. I'm gonna make the extraordinary life come to me through the magic of hustle. So you can see where that kind of would lead you. With such an intense emotional drive from what happened when I was 14, that intense emotional drive led me to working way too hard. So 2018, 2019, I was working 17-hour days. I was waking up at 3 or 4 a.m. Oh, like, wow. Waking up at 3 or 4 a.m., starting work immediately, or getting a coffee, starting work. And I would work the whole way through to like 10, 11 p.m. And the kind of work I was doing, that's actually a whole other conversation, but it was not work that I liked. I was doing work that was definitely not tailored to an introvert, like cold calling, ringing leads all day, and having coaching calls with clients all day. I would have like honestly, I would have a good 10 to 20 calls a day. As an introvert, that is now my worst nightmare. Like 20 calls a day. Jesus, not for me. Not for me, right? But I just thought, look, if this is what I got to do for the success that's going to lead me to the extraordinary life, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm just plugging in my laptop. Hold on. Okay. So the drive was there, the ambition was there, the fire under my ass was there. That led me to burnout. Okay. That approach ain't going to work long term. But I kind of thought, you know what, I can keep up this hard work thing for as long as it takes. I can deal with, well, actually the burnout was like, no, I actually can't deal with this. Like that was too much. I was like, okay, well, if that's gonna happen after like less than a year of this intensity of work, then maybe it ain't gonna happen. But I thought that because of what we're told in marketing of, you know, I started my business and 3 months later I was making 50K a month. And it's like, this kind of messaging is everywhere. And yeah, it is possible, but it's not the norm. And we don't hear about all of the other people who, yeah, I'm 3 years into my business and I just hit my first 2K month. You don't hear about that because it doesn't have like the sparkles of like 3 months into my business and I'm making 50K a month. Like, everybody's journey is perfect for them. Everybody's journey is tailored to them, but it can that was part of why I felt it was okay to push myself to the extent that I did. Because I was like, well, if it's possible to reach 50K months in yeah, 50K a month in 3 months, then like, even if I only hit a 10K month in 3 months, then it's well worth this overworking. It's well worth the 17-hour days. Lo and behold, I didn't quite get anywhere near 10K months in 3 months. Sure, I had no clue, like, messaging, client relationships, boundaries, not a chance. Like, my money mindset was on the floor. People were paying me 37 euro a week, and I was giving them my soul. Like, yes, give, but I was definitely over giving, and I felt like I had nothing left in my own cup. So, and the reason I'm saying this, okay, like this part with the overwork, and I was like, okay, again, it ain't gonna work like this. So how am I gonna set things up in a way that's like, if I'm not gonna get results in 3 months, I mean, if I'm not gonna reach 50K months in 3 months, how do I set it up in a way that I can sustain it over a longer period of time? So that's when I really started getting into the productivity scene and like, prioritization, planning, working on your focus, your energy, those kind of things. And that was in 2020 because I remember we were on lockdown and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." I mean, like, for an introvert, sorry publicly, and like all of the crap that was going on, a lot of people had a rough time. For me, it was a great time because I was at home. I was in hermit mode, which is my favorite way to work. Like, in my little bubble, don't have to talk to anybody. I can just focus and I can create and I can do it. So that's when I was working on my true crime YouTube channel, which I had for 3 years. Anyway, still a lot of the focus was work. Yes, I was getting things done. Yes, I was getting YouTube videos out every week. Yes, the audience was growing. Yes, I was like interacting with people on social media and like doing all the things you got to do. But I still was like, "Geez, like all I ever do is work." Even though I'm not working 17-hour days, but I'm working 12. I'm working 12-hour days and I'm making progress, but like still it's a lot. And I realized, you know, when probably the first time Patrick and I spent a month in Spain, which was last year, 2023, we were finishing work at like 3 p.m. Oh no, he wasn't working actually. So it was only me working. So he was like, "Woohoo, we have all the time in the world." And I was like, I can't just take a month off my business. Like, I got I got shit to do. I gotta do content. I gotta do YouTube stuff. I gotta do stuff for my new program. At the time I was creating a program that never actually came to be because of soon after that trip was when Creator Productivity Lab was born. So that on the trip, the idea was born. Anyway, I was like, okay, between 2022 and 2023, that's when I started getting into the scene of systems. And I was like, hold your horses. What? I can set something up once. I can spend like an hour setting something up, an automation, an SOP, a template bank, whatever. And it's gonna make that task that it helps me do, like, 80% faster to complete. Oh my god. Because what if I do that for everything? Like, what if I did okay, so I'm gonna bring this all back to the reason I'm talking about this, okay? So, obviously, we know I'm a systems girly, that's what we do here. But why? Why am I a systems girly? I'm a systems girly because the whole damn point of productivity literally has nothing to do with productivity. Try to wrap your head around that. The point of productivity is to create more time. So, yes, create the results in your career. Boom, amazing. Of course, we want that. And nothing I teach has anything to do with like, maybe let go of that. No, like I'm here for all of your results. I want you to achieve this, that over there, that over here. I want you to achieve all of it. And like the thing I hate the most about productivity is the fact that you got to narrow it down and like focus your efforts on the one thing and blah, blah, blah. But why? Why do we do it? Why do we do any of it? Thinking back to me coming out of that depressive state when I was 14, I was like, I want to create an extraordinary life. Is an extraordinary life day after day after day after day after day, month after month after month after month, year after year of me just sitting at a laptop? It's not. It's not. An extraordinary life is me sitting at a laptop for a few hours and getting some really fulfilling work done, and then closing the fucking laptop, and then going for a nature walk, and then going and meeting a friend for a coffee, and then coming home and working on one of my passion projects, working on creative writing. Like you guys know right now, that's one of my side passion projects right now is creative writing. I'm writing a short story right now, and I read it to Patrick, and I was like, "Okay, it's dark, but I'm quite proud of it." And I read it, he was like, "Oh my god, that's a book I would read." And I was like, like, obviously it's not even about external validation, and it may not ever even become a book. The point of it is it's not linked to any goal, but the fulfillment that comes from having something extra that is, yes, you being technically productive, but not related to work whatsoever. That, oh, that brings you so much value in your life. That brings you so much joy. And okay, another question for you is if you are in this business, if you're in this business for the long haul, are you willing to give up the rest of your 20s or the rest of your 30s or whatever decade you're in to missing opportunities, saying no to things, saying, sorry, I can't, I gotta work, you know, missing out on living your life? There could be opportunities in there, there could be social events, and there could be memories to be made, there could be fun to have. Are you willing to give that up for like 10 years? You only live your 20s once. You only live your 30s once. And again, insert whatever decade you're in here, but you only ever live each decade once. And yes, we have ambition. Yes, we want to create massive success. And I'm here for that. And we want to set ourselves up productivity wise to achieve that regardless. Well, pretty much regardless of the amount of hours we put in. Like we don't want we don't want our productivity to be transactional. Oh my god, I'm going to write that down. That's going to be a post. Ah! But like if our productivity is transactional, what that means is like you do a task for 1 hour and the next time you do it, it's also 1 hour. Like it never makes itself any easier. Coming at it from The streamlined approach is doing a task for 1 hour in a way that sets it up so that it only takes you 15 minutes next time. And think about it, if that becomes your norm, how much time are you gonna save yourself without sacrificing results? You get the results, you get to have the impact, and you get so much extra time. So with that extra time, yeah, you're gonna go through seasons where you have extra drive and you're like, "Holy crap." Oh, getting some, notifications there. You're feeling like, "Holy crap, I've got I've got all this extra drive and I wanna ramp everything up and I wanna 10x my income." Or, "Holy crap, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go wild, like hog wild on visibility." And you have the time to do that, rather than, like, getting an inspired idea, but being so stuck in all of the busy stuff that, like, you can't even act on the idea. And, oh, so that's one season, the trailblazing season. You could also flow into a season of the fiery passions. Like, that's the season I'm in right now. I'm in my fiery passions season. Any extra time I create, I'm like, I'm doing some creative writing. I'm working on this short story. What the other things I've been doing? Listening to aviation podcasts, watching YouTube videos about music production because I know I've got an album in me and I have a fantastic concept for an album. So it will be a mixture of like I'm not gonna give the whole concept, but like I sing, I can play the piano. I also have a cajon. It's like a that drum that you sit on, the like wooden box that you sit on, and you Oh, maybe less like a chipmunk and more like a cool person. But anyway, but also like I can hear songs in my head, I can harmonize and stuff, but like I can't actually create it so that it is a song that another human being can listen to. I just hear it in my head. So I need to get better at the music production thing. Um and it's all very exciting, but like all of that is adding so much to my life rather than me just up I get, to the laptop I go, work I must, and then, like, work the whole day, and I get to the end of the day and I'm like, "Well, that was another day of working all day." Mm. So, I just really want us to have a think about the whole damn point. If you are looking to be more productive, I love that for you, 100%, I'm here for it, but also, when you do free up more time, what are you putting that time towards? Like, that time could be used to add so much to your life, and that doesn't necessarily mean working more. In fact, it probably doesn't. And since we're in a creative business as well, it's all like all of this other stuff is adding stimulation to our lives, which gives us better ideas. Our If you're into the law of attraction, your vibration goes from like like as you walk, like like that. That's how you walk when you're just like going about a random day, another random work day. But if you like do your couple of hours of work and get your shit done, and then you go and do something that lights you up, like I know it's kind of cheesy, but like lights your soul on fire, you're gonna be doing the thing that lights your soul on fire, and you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, I have just had a breakthrough. I'm gonna bring this to my clients right now because I can't wait to tell them." Like, and everything just goes, and that's when genuinely, that's when things start falling into place in a way that like almost doesn't make sense, and people start connecting with what you're doing more because of it. Because you're not just like showing up to post an Instagram reel. You're like, this is the thing. And it's a whole different experience. So, your homework, I'm going to give homework. Your homework is to journal on if the next 10 years of my life were me just working at a laptop and saying no to all of the fun opportunities and other life things that I could do, how would I feel about myself? Like how would I feel about my life? really journal on that. Like, the next 10 years get to be the best 10 years of your life. And that doesn't mean it's only related to money and income, but they get to be the best 10 years of your life because every single day has little magical moments in there. And like, you do things that you love outside of work. And yeah, you can love your work, but there's more. And this is exactly why, and like something that I've been speaking about recently, this is why my Instagram handle is More to Life Kate. Because productivity has nothing to do with productivity. Productivity is about adding joy to your life. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This has been Freedom Friday episode 3, and I know that this is gonna light a fire under your ass. I can just feel it because this just flowed through me. I might have to rewatch it to see what I even said, but know that this came from the heart, okay? And I want you to go and have the absolute best weekend ever. One little moment of joy that I'm having today is this evening is the Late Late Toy Show, which is every year in the lead up to Christmas. There's like a toy show on RTE, which is it's kind of like our BBC. And I'm gonna go to the shop and get myself a little treat with my mom, and we're gonna watch it, and it's gonna be amazing. So, I've been looking forward to this for about 4 months. So I'm gonna enjoy every single second. All right, I will talk to y'all very soon. Have the best weekend. Bye.